Ladies and gentlemen, this story involves Donald J. Trump, Tim Waltz, Nick Shirley, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and two states that were never supposed to be connected in the same sentence, Minnesota and Ohio. Because what just happened in Columbus, Ohio didn't just raise questions. It just blew the entire daycare fraud narrative wide open. Now, for weeks, this political class tried to brush this off as, oh, it's just Minnesota. It's just one state. It's just a viral video. Just noise, right? But then Ohio happened, and all of a sudden the same patterns showed up again. The same empty buildings, the same public money, the same silence when basic questions were asked. This is when this stopped being a social media controversy and it turned into a federal problem. Because now, under President Donald J. Trump, the checks are frozen. The Department of Health and Human Services has stepped in, and Tim Waltz isn't doing victory laps. He's explaining himself. Now, this is not about politics first. This is about receipts first. And once Ohio confirmed what Minnesota tried to deny, everything changed overnight. Stay with me, guys, because this isn't where the story ends. In fact, this is exactly where it starts. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. All right, guys, let's go ahead and crack this sucker right open, okay? Let's get the names right on the table right now. You got Donald J. Trump, Tim Waltz, Nick Shirley, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Minnesota, Ohio, and most importantly, Columbus, Ohio, okay? Because this is no longer a YouTube moment, okay? This is no longer just a viral clip. Donald J. Trump is president right now, and under his administration, federal daycare money to Minnesota is already frozen. Now, this ain't speculation. This is action, and it didn't happen because of politics. It happened because Ohio just blew a hole in the whole narrative. Now, for weeks, the media lied to you, telling you that this was just Minnesota. Oh, it's just one state. It's one controversy. It's one viral video. But when the same pattern showed up in Columbus, Ohio, that excuse collapsed. Empty buildings, listed as open, funded with public money. I mean, look at the pattern here, guys. Where did we see this before, right? This crossed the line from content to consequence. So this is no longer a viral video. This is now a federal action with national consequences. Ohio didn't copy Minnesota. Ohio confirmed the pattern, and Minnesota responded. And so this entire chain reaction, it all starts with Nick Shirley. Drop a Nick Shirley down below and show your support for what he's done for the American people. He's not a politician. He's not some government agency like the FBI or something like that. He's just a regular guy. He's an independent journalist who went on the ground in Minnesota and filmed what institutions refused to explain. Locked daycare doors, empty buildings, blacked out windows, no kids in sight, and yet public money was still flowing in. Now, that footage mattered because it did what reports and audits couldn't do. It bypassed the gatekeepers. There was no press release. There was no talking points, just cameras and addresses. Now, this was not an accusation. It was footage. Once those videos went viral, citizens in other states started asking a very dangerous question. Well, what if this is not isolated? And this is exactly where Ohio enters the story. People in Columbus have said explicitly that they went looking because of Nick Shirley's reporting. They weren't chasing clicks. They were chasing confirmation. And what they found didn't calm anything down. It escalated everything. So this is where everything shifts. Columbus, Ohio, guys. Because once citizens took Nick Shirley's Minnesota findings and they started checking addresses in Ohio, the illusion collapsed real fast. Daycare centers listed as being open, state approved, publicly funded. But when people showed up in person, locked doors, lights were off, buildings falling apart. Come on, guys. Neighbors are saying that they've never seen children enter or leave these buildings. People asking basic questions. How do parents enroll? Who runs this place? And, of course, getting silence or hostility in return. These were not rumors floating around online. These weren't rumors. These were addresses. And this is exactly what made Ohio so dangerous to the narrative. Minnesota could be spun as a local failure. Sure. Okay, we'll give you that, right? But when Columbus started showing the same red flags, the story stopped being regional. Ohio couldn't echo Minnesota. Ohio multiplied it. That's when the word isolated officially died. What you're watching right now is really about money that was supposed to go somewhere and it didn't. And that exact same thing is happening right now today to millions of seniors every single year with Medicare. Now, I had a couple reach out to me recently who thought that their retirement money was safe. Turns out their Medicare plan had been quietly overcharging them for years. They said that was our money, not the insurance companies. And I feel them. I mean, this is horrible. This is exactly why I partner with Chapter. Chapter doesn't sell insurance. They fix Medicare coverage and they redirect wasted dollars right on back where they actually belong, to you. Now, this is especially important if you're on a fixed income because small leaks add up real fast. Now, most people, they're already dialing the phone number at the bottom of your screen, 909-563-8279, or they're clicking the link in the description down below, going to askchapter.org/Ron to get their coverage reviewed for free. That's right, guys, completely free service for the Ron Yates community, because whether it's daycare funds in Minnesota or Ohio or Medicare dollars, the pattern's the same. If nobody checks, the money just keeps on disappearing. All right, so let's keep going, right? So once Ohio entered the picture, the pattern became impossible to unsee. Same setup, different state, daycare centers approved for public funding, no observable child care activity, no kids, no parents, no transparency. And when questioned, the same responses surfaced: deflection, refusal, you're not welcome here. Now, this wasn't one bad actor. This was a replicatable structure operating across state lines. And that's the moment that public anxiety spikes, because people understand something instinctively. Fraud does not replicate this cleanly by accident. Drop an on purpose down below if you believe that this is no accident, guys. Now, if this were a coincidence, the details would not match. If this were just a misunderstanding, the doors wouldn't all be locked, right? Now, Ohio made it very clear. Minnesota wasn't an anomaly. It was a preview. And once that realization set in, the pressure didn't stay online anymore. It moved straight to Washington. So this is the moment where the story leaves the internet and it enters federal enforcement. Because once Ohio confirmed the same red flags seen in Minnesota, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services did not issue another statement. They took action. You see, under President Donald J. Trump, child care payments to Minnesota, they were frozen immediately. No slow walk, no we'll look into it. The Trump administration cited fraud concerns tied directly to federally funded daycare centers. And then the checks stopped. Now that matters right there, guys. This wasn't politics. This wasn't messaging. This was the federal government exercising its authority over taxpayer money. And the reason matters just as much as the action. Ohio didn't cause suspicion. Ohio confirmed it. Minnesota just raised the alarms, but Ohio validated them. Washington responded. This is how escalation works when receipts start stacking up. So now enters the room Tim Waltz. And this is where the pressure really turns personal. Now, Waltz, he didn't thank investigators. Tim Waltz didn't welcome scrutiny. Tim Waltz pushed back. He denied wrongdoing. He framed this freeze as political. Tim Waltz insisted that his administration was handling it. But here's the problem, guys. Tim Waltz he's been governor for what, 7 years? Has it been 7 years? Drop a 7 if it's been 7 years. Well, anyway, the fraud investigations, the fraud allegations didn't appear yesterday, and yet the federal freeze still happened. Now, that contradiction is exactly what made this response land so badly. Because if everything was really under control, if oversight was working, if investigations were sufficient, why did the check stop? The Trump administration didn't freeze funds on vibes. They froze them on risk. And every denial from Tim Waltz only sharpened the question that voters are now asking out loud. And so as federal money froze, the media tried to slam the brakes. Oh, they did. I mean, look, major outlets, including CBS, started floating the familiar line. No findings yet, no confirmed fraud, no official conclusions, nothing proven. But here's the problem with that. The story never started with conclusions, it started with cameras. And that's why Nick Shirley didn't back down. He didn't pivot. He's a true patriot. He didn't retract. He didn't apologize. Instead, he pointed right back to the footage. The locked doors, the empty buildings, the addresses funded by public money with no visible childcare happening inside. That's the tension that the media could not resolve. Because when institutions demand paperwork and independent journalists show reality, the audience notices the gap. This was not about waiting for permission anymore. This is about evidence that the public could already see. And the pressure didn't fade. It only multiplied. So here's the turning point, guys, and it cannot be overstated. Minnesota alone could be dismissed. One state, one administration, one controversy, but Ohio made that impossible. Different state, different agencies, different political environment. Ilhan Omar is not in Ohio, right? But the same results. Once Columbus, Ohio started producing the same visuals, the same abandoned locations, the same unanswered questions, all of a sudden the story went national. All 50 states. This is the moment that the narrative snapped. 2 states don't accidentally fake the same crime, right? And so Ohio didn't just support Minnesota's claims. Ohio validated them independently. And that is what forced Washington's hand. Minnesota raised the alarm. Ohio confirmed the system. And then the Trump administration acted. So from that point forward, this was no longer about a governor defending his record. It became more about whether a nationwide structure had been hiding in plain sight from day one. And once that idea landed, there was no putting it back in the bottle. And so this is where the story stops being abstract and it really starts hitting people in the gut, because now the question is not whether something went wrong. It's where did the money go? Federal child care dollars. I'm talking about state administered grants, grant money, grant programs funded by the United States Department of Health and Human Services, guys. Look, taxpayer money, federal taxpayer money that was meant for children. And yet in Minnesota and now Ohio, people are standing in front of the buildings that show no evidence of childcare happening at all. No accusations beyond the evidence. No conclusions beyond the facts. Just unanswered questions. How were these centers approved? Who signed off on compliance? Who verified attendance? Apparently nobody. Those questions don't disappear just because officials say, oh, we're looking into it. Sure, you're looking into it. Did anybody trust those guys? I don't trust them. When Donald J. Trump's administration froze the funds, it sent a very clear message. Until those questions are answered, the money stops. And that's when the public realized something very important. Oversight doesn't fail quietly. It failed visibly. So once the money froze, politics rushed in, whether anybody wanted it or not. Voters in Minnesota, they started demanding answers. Some called for resignations. Ilhan Omar's name came up. Tim Waltz came up. Others demanded audits. Even Democrats began quietly admitting the optics were really bad. Now, Tim Waltz didn't just face critics from across the aisle. He actually faced skepticism from within his own side. That's when it was very clear Democrats were in panic mode. Republicans seized the moment, framing this as a failure of governance and accountability. Democrats scrambled to distance themselves from decisions that they once defended. Here's a real key detail that just keeps on getting lost. This didn't start as a political attack. It became political after the funds were frozen. The sequence really matters, guys. Pay close attention, okay? Ohio surfaced the pattern. Federal agencies reacted, and then politicians responded. Now that order stripped away talking points and it left only consequences. And once voters understand that timeline, they start asking a harder question. Who knew and when? Now here's the part that nobody in power is comfortable saying out loud. This didn't stop with Minnesota or Ohio, because once citizens realized how simple the process was, check the address, show up in person, ask some basic freaking questions, the model spread. People in other states started doing the same thing, quietly, methodically, without waiting for permission. That's when federal agencies start paying attention. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services didn't freeze funds just to make a point. They did it because risk doesn't respect state lines. And when the same structure appears in multiple places, oversight has to widen. It has no choice. This is how scrutiny actually grows, not from press conferences, but from replication. Once the public learns how to check, this doesn't stop. Minnesota raised the alarm. Ohio confirmed it. And now the rest of the country is watching. And this is what happens. This is what turns a scandal into a reckoning. So let's just go ahead and lock this in, okay? Ohio blew it wide open. Minnesota took the hit. Donald J. Trump pulled the lever. And Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, they're still on defense. But not because of rumors, not because of politics, but because receipts went viral. Now, this story didn't start in Washington. It didn't start in a courtroom. It started with people walking up to the buildings, knocking on doors and asking, where are the kids? And once the question went unanswered repeatedly across states, the system reacted the only way that it could. The money stopped. The scrutiny widened. The narrative collapsed. This is what happens when independent journalism meets public verification, when footage beats spin, when accountability outruns excuses. And if there's one lesson in all of this, I think it's pretty simple. When people go look for themselves, power has nowhere left to hide. Like the video, subscribe, share this with everyone you know. We have to get the word out, folks. Do your part. I'll see you next time.